keeping it Houston sports as we cross over to the NBA. I want y'all to listen to this number closely. 598 million dollars. $598 million. I'm sorry, Devin. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure this number is fairly accurate.
Hey, this episode has been brought to you by Tendonism. That's what's been going on my side, y'all. Shout out to Unc Tendonism. So
All right. So $598 million, approximately, roughly. $598 million. Darnell, do you believe that nearly 598, let's just say nearly 600 million, right? Do you believe nearly $600 million to be more than enough to have made in your career, no matter the profession? Nearly 600 million.
yeah,
Okay. Ask me, what does this $600 million pertain to as it relates to the Houston Rockets?
what does it pertain to?
$600 million that he's nearly made in his career, and that being Kevin Durant. He's made nearly $600 million in his career, and he still found a way to get paid off and sitting out game one. I am convinced, whether they be from Vegas or wherever they from, found a way to pay off Kevin Durant to sit out game one. I don't want to hear nothing about a knee contusion, you bumping your knee at practice. I'm not going for it, KD. You sitting out game one. And you didn't just sit out in game one, Kevin Durant. You got paid to sit out. I'm convinced. I'm diving off the deep end. I don't care. You can tweet me from your burner account, KD, if you like. But you have made nearly $600 million, Kevin Durant, and you still accepted a payout to sit out game one.
Allegedly.
I ain't going with it. All right, legend. So that's
I do want to play devil's advocate. That's all. Shout out to Robert De Niro.
you know what I'm saying?
No
Maybe
Al Pacino.
allegedly. And so looking at this playoff series, it was 1010% clear that the Lakers did not stand a chance versus a Houston Rockets team with Kevin Durant. And I'm just convinced that KD took a payday, bro, to sit out game one and mess with that money line. Our brother Sean Izzo, we was texting in the group chat, and he was saying, bro, like the right, like Vegas, the gambling gods, they probably profited so much money off of the Houston Rockets money line. People taking the Rockets money line in that game one matchup with Kevin Durant being like ruled out like earlier that day. I believe it was. And so yeah, bro, KD sabotaged us, bro. KD sabotaged us, and it's hurtful that he would take a payment to like take a dive on game one. And that's how nasty it was, Darnell. He didn't take the money and take a dive and just play bad in game one. He took the money and completely said, I'm not playing in game one. Like, that's gotta be an excessive amount of money. I can't imagine how much he got paid not to play game one, considering he's made nearly $600 million. 600 M's, and you still taking money to throw games, Kevin Durant? Allegedly. So we
They
don't.
paid him in they paid him in tenderness and ribs.
Yeah, man, bro.
Because he got enough money. He had to find something else to pay him, man. So that's good.
KD sitting out this game, sitting out game one. It was egregious. KD, you can't convince me you were injured. You got paid off to not play game one. That's what I'm going with. Um, and him not playing, I think we all knew that KD is like he's the engine of the team. His greatness is the engine of this team. But I think this put up like a microscope on the Houston Rockets too, bro. We are a Kevin Durant year away from maybe retiring or going to another team. We are a Kevin Durant year away from us going back to tanking for high draft picks.
Yes.
If you really pay attention to our team, we already traded away Jalen Green. Sangoon is not that goon that we thought he was. That's a bar. I see that. That's a bar. I know it. That's a bar. I know it. That is a bar. Don DeMarco. Bang, bang, bang. Sangoon is not the goon that we were expecting him to be. You taking away.
Take the mask off, son. Mm-mm.
But yes, bro, we traded away Jalen Green. Sangoon is not really a goon on the basketball court. Then you look at uh Jabari Smith. I feel like Jabari Smith has all the tools to be like a great player in this league, but like for some reason he's just like it's not like connecting, right?
We got that Brandon Ingram syndrome.
I pray upon the God in heaven that I serve that there is not an inkling of Brandon Ingram blood in Jabari Smith Jr.'s DNA. I
I
pray that
will.
it. I pray that is not the case for the young dude, man. And then yeah, bro, it's just like Sangoon was supposed to be the guy, and it's Kevin Durant is the number one option on this team. Sangoon's numbers, we went over him and talking about him being a not being even a baby joker. Sangoon numbers they have not improved from last year to this year in any way. They've remained the same or they've lowered by one or two like points or whatever. And I'm just looking at the makeup of this team, and it's just like, bro, if we don't got Kevin Durant, like this team is not. I don't even think we are a playoff team if we don't have Kevin Durant. Maybe we a play-in team, but I don't think we're a bona fide top six seed without Kevin Durant. And I think if Kevin Durant wasn't on this team with us, with Sangoon not being who we expected him to be, this team is literally like a Kevin Durant injury or end of his contract, we are very close to tanking and rebuilding all over again, which is sad because we had been in our tanking drought when we acquired Sengun, when we acquired Jalen Green, when we acquired Amen Thompson, when we acquired Jabari Smith, when we got Eason, we got all these young picks, and it is not materializing into being a us showing to be a dominant team towards the future, bro. And it is gut wrenching to have to like go through this process all over again.
Well,
And
you know whose
yeah,
fault that is? Kevin Durant. He was brought in there to be a leader, and he fails to be a leader.
but okay,
That was the actual
it's not
part of his.
it's I don't believe we could say it's Kevin Durant's fault because he's not a leader and he was brought in to be a leader. In my opinion, if you sign Kevin Durant to be a leader, you deserve to lose your job.
but it was under the mindset of, okay, these guys are young. Nobody's a superstar other than Sengun. He's young. Everybody looks up to you as far as a superstar, role model, all this other kind of stuff. And he never stepped into the role. He started off in the season lightly into the role, but he didn't step into the role. That's how I feel about it. I'm just like, at the end of the day, that's what it really brought you. Yeah, you can score and you got playoff experience, you're a champion. That is without a doubt. But the real reason they brought you was to be able to lead those young men, to lead the guy who has the exact same build as you, to lead Amon Thompson to be more of a leader, to be more of a better player. Sengun to be a better post player. He failed. He failed. I felt like he got more selfish. I felt like he felt like that's not my job. I'm only a player. I'm here to hoop, which has always been his stance. And no, that's not what they brought you here for. They brought you for a two-way package deal. Like, okay, yeah, you're a champion. You can score. Okay, bet, bet, bet. But we have a lot, like you said, a lot of young pieces that you can lead and you can teach and you can like guide. And I feel like at a certain point, he just stopped caring. I don't know if it was the lack of defense from certain players, the lack of improvement from certain players in certain areas. But KD just kind of threw his hands up and was like, I'm over this. And that was before All Star. So I just feel like he failed. I'm sorry. Like KD, you failed us, my boy. And you can ask any Houston fan, why do we bring in KD? That's actually going to be the reason why. Yeah, you can score, but bro, you like 37, 36. Yeah, we know you can do that, but we kind of need you to be a leader. So sorry, KD, you kind of failed us. You you flip flopped as far as the whole give me the ball with the last second. You missed the numerous of game winners, and like I said, you're not uplifting your team the way you need to. I don't think he's had a double digit assist game yet, and I feel he's capable of doing that, or at least eight. I don't think he's
Oh,
touched eight the whole entire season. That is not good for you
Kevin
being
Dur
the
Kevin
person that you
Durant.
are.
Kevin Durant's had Kevin KD's had 8 assists in the game this
Let's go
season.
check. I like this part of the segment. When you go check, it's like really one of my favorite all time parts of the segment. When you go check up the facts, when it gets real. I don't know, and I ain't checked it either. I just feel like he has not touched that more than twice,
More than twice. All right,
not more
let's.
than twice, and that's sad for what a team that you have and for the attention that you bring. You can't get like five, maybe it's 82 games, take away 20. You can't get that 20, you can't get that 10 times out of a season. I feel like he hasn't. The highest is maybe seven. Talk to me nice.
KD had 14 8+ assist games this season.
I'll tell you for sure. I don't feel like it. It does not feel out. You know what? What games were those?
Um,
Curious. Because this plays a factor of okay, was it like a game where he felt like they were trash and he got his other team involved and
all
it's like
right,
working?
all right, so the 14 games he's had 14, the 14 games where he had 8+ assists this season versus Sacramento
Trash.
versus Phoenix,
Mm,
Sacramento again,
trash.
The Lakers, Brooklyn Nets,
Trash.
the Pelicans, the
Trash.
Dallas Mavericks,
Trash.
Utah Jazz,
Trash.
Miami Heat,
Trash. Semi trash. I give you three. We had three decent teams.
Tim
Decent teams.
Timberwolves.
What date?
You said what date?
I think that was that overtime game when they had no starters.
T-Wolves, that was March 25th.
That was an overtime game. They had no starters. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
We need you to have that kind of game. Win the game, like at least three games against big teams. At least three. Like, come on now. What's the point of
Um,
facilitating and being like a team leader and doing that and executing, knowing they're gonna have a game plan for you if you can't do it in the games that matter? Give me the rest. You got to, all right, give me the rest. Screw it. Timberwolves. At Timberwolves. So we got
You got. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. T Wolves. Said the T Wolves. Then you got the Pelicans.
trash.
I don't know how this got screwed up. Forgive me, but I'm gonna just go through it one more time. Sorry. All
I
right.
got
So that's what it was. Okay. We don't have to go back on. All right. I said the T Wolves just now. Memphis,
trash.
Knicks,
Okay, finally one
Milwaukee,
good team. Trash.
Golden State.
Trash. Because they didn't have Curry for most of the year. So you had one game where it mattered. One game where you like, and that's I get it. I get it. I know what you're about to say. That's KD. He scored. Okay, but if you know you're the best scorer on the team, in some of those scenarios, you
I'll
got to be a
say
lot more
I
aggressive
I'll give you
in
this.
feeding your team.
I'll say two because you're only giving him what the Knicks game.
Like as a strong competitor, like oh wow, like oh ooh.
I'll give him the Lakers game because I said the Lakers too, where Luca, Austin Reeves, and Braun played.
All right, 1.5. I give him 1.5. Fuck it. Lakers is half a good team because even with them three on there, it's still they still flawed because that's literally all they have. And that's why it's so embarrassing of scenario we're in right now. So,
Yeah, yeah, 14 games. KD's had 14 games this season with A+ assists. And of those 14 games, only only two teams, right? Oh, excuse me, only three teams are actually playoff team. No, that's wrong, Edward. Only four teams are actually playoff teams, but Phoenix being one was a play-in team. And looking beneath the surface, that Minnesota game, none of their starters were playing. So yeah.
like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to. It's like where you're at. Yeah, Katie, you can score at will. Like we need to see more assists, and you can do it. We've seen you do it. Like it ain't like oh, I don't know. Like no, you. I've seen you do it in Brooklyn. I've seen you do it with Golden State. I've seen you do it in other scenarios. Like you don't have to be this. Oh, I'll do a score. It's like no, you know how to play ball. You know when you're the main guy how to get other your teammates involved and know their hot spots, but you're choosing not to like advance at that. So guess what? The pressure won't be on you. You just be like, oh, we trash, we trash. It's like, no, make them better. That's the point of being the leader. But he don't want it. He never want to accept that role, and it's irritating. He's gonna when people start having these questions about it when things finally do happen to a point of like negativity, he's gonna say, "Well, man, I'm just not what I do, man. I just go out there and I hoop. I just get my shots up, and I get the shots they give me, and that's it." It's like, no, I'm sorry. Who is the leader on that team?
We
If
don't
you're
know.
not the leader, KD, seriously, are you really gonna be that guy on your phone chilling, like secluded? Like, no. Mine Thompson is not it. Jabari is not it. Sengun is not it. Who is? Come on, man. Like, I hope you don't like. I'm wondering. That's the question I would love to ask him. Who's the leader of this team? I would love to ask Kevin Durant to his face, respectfully, not to disrespect him, but to get a real answer. Who is the leader of this team? And I feel like he has no other choice but to say himself, okay, then freaking act like it. It ain't just the scoring. No. You in the playoffs you 90% of your career? And you telling me all you know how to do is just score the whole entire time? You didn't see other people how they became leaders? You didn't get encouraged by Steph Curry? Stop it. Stop it. Come on. It's sad because it ain't like you ain't been around it. You've been around it your whole entire career, either against it or on it. And you just bailing out on some like, I don't know what to do, man. Just give me the last shot, man. Just give me a last shot. Nah, bro. Lead those young men. They literally look up to you. Every last one of them. Every time somebody makes a big shot, you know what they do? He's on the bench, they're looking to him. He's on that court, they're looking to Kevin Durant. They're literally looking at him like they're his dad. Players don't do that. When they make big shots in games, they celebrate. They do a little whatevers. They're not looking for their teammate. They in their own moment. When those players make any big play, they look for Kevin Durant for confirmation, for approval. And he just don't get it. Should have been a leader like at the beginning of your career, bro. I, I think we were all fools to believe that he would finally become a leader.
Yeah, and that'll
And
be
that's what it boils down to. I think we all fell victim to his skill and his greatness, and we forgot that shoot, he really does not like to lead.
because most players after a certain point, most players who are great, you see some form of leadership in them.
Talking, pat you on the back, being vocal in the huddle. It's little things like that, and I just never, unless he's upset, that's when you see those things. Yeah, he's talking in that huddle, but he's yelling and arguing with somebody. He's not actually saying, "Okay, guys, let's get this together, guys. Hey, you're lacking on this, you're lacking on that. Hey, tighten up on this, tighten up on that." He's not doing that, and for whatever reason, he just don't get that. That's what they're looking for you for. That's what they're looking for you for. Every championship team that leads does it. You got that from Steph Curry. Really, as a team effort with Golden State, I gotta give them a lot more respect. They were very advanced of understanding like we all need to be on the same page, and they all were like individual leaders. If you really think about it, everybody had their moment. Everybody respected each other, which is very rare, unless you're the San Antonio Spurs as well, because they were the same exact way. Yeah, yeah. Timmy's the captain, but everybody held a leadership trait on the Spurs team back in the day. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan. They all took turns of being the leader. And Kevin Durant, it's like you just don't get it. Just like don't go to your phone. Go to their face and tell them that. They respect you a lot more, I swear.
The doors of the pod are open.